Tonight, a Port Lincoln home extensively damaged by fire, and Broken Hill welcomes its newest health professionals to the city.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. First is Friday. An electrical fault is being blamed for a house fire which erupted in Port Lincoln yesterday afternoon. Authorities quick to get on top of the blaze before it could spread to the rest of the house.
Flames erupt from this Port Lincoln home as helpless neighbours watch on. The fierce fire started just after 4 yesterday afternoon on Alsace Crescent. Distressed onlookers quickly calling for help. 2 MFS crews backed up by 2 CFS rushed to the scene.
We arrived, the back of the house, flames were through the roof of the back of the premise.
One occupant was inside at the time but managed to escape the inferno. There were fears of explosions with gas bottles sitting nearby.
The CFS, they were tasked to take them away, make that area safe.
With black smoke billowing over the city, authorities were warning residents to stay indoors.
Pretty toxic smoke, a lot of laser light, Elsa light sort of roofing on the premise that was on fire. We just issued a bit of a smoke warning for anyone to just close their windows that might have been downwind of the fire.
An electrical fault is being blamed for sparking the blaze. The damage bill is estimated at $100,000. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A second man has been arrested and charged over an alleged series of break-ins at Whyalla businesses over the past month. It follows the arrest of a 28-year-old Whyalla Stuart man last week. Sophia Contagonis has the story.
Police arrested a 37-year-old Whyalla Stuart man yesterday following a spate of alleged break-ins across the Steel City.
We were looking for him for quite a while and eventually we were able to locate him and arrest him safely, which was good.
He was the second man to be arrested for the alleged offences. On Tuesday last week, police patrols attended a Whyalla Stuart home following an investigation into 5 recent break-ins within the city between the 17th and 19th of January. Police located an alleged stolen utility in the rear yard, as well as more than 70 alleged items, all suspected of having been stolen during the break-ins. A 28-year-old Whyalla Stuart man was arrested and charged with a raft of alleged offences. He was refused bail and appeared in the Whyalla Magistrates Court, where he was remanded in custody.
But at this stage we have recovered a vast amount of property. We're quite satisfied that we have got the people who were involved.
Police ask anyone with any information to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
A driver has had a lucky escape after a trailer on this road train rolled at 6 o'clock last night. Emergency crews were called to the Barrier Highway, 30 kilometres east of Broken Hill. It's believed the truck took 150 metres to stop, the rear trailer blocking the road when it did. The driver escaped uninjured and the road was cleared within a few hours. 3 new intern doctors have been welcomed to Broken Hill Hospital, looking to develop their hands-on skills. They're not just fresh faces, with hopes their journey will inspire others to pursue health careers in the far west.
Taking their first steps as qualified doctors, these 3 interns are our newest health heroes.
I am from Malaysia.
I studied 6 to 7 years at the University of New South Wales in Sydney.
I travelled quite a bit before coming to Australia.
Sonali, Grace and May taking the plunge and heading bush.
I'm super excited. This is my first time coming to Broken Hill. Actually, this is my first time coming to New South Wales.
And while many hope to start their career in the city, this trio believes they'll see a wider range of patients here.
In maybe tertiary or metropolitan hospitals, a lot of times you probably don't get as much opportunity to work hands-on stuff.
Attracting workers to rural areas proves challenging for many businesses. The local health district launching a campaign last year to highlight the city's lifestyle and entice new staff.
We know that interns, when they have positive experience, they tend to come back.
Authorities hailing the video as a success, with 11,000 views and an overwhelming response from the community.
A lot of people are a bit skeptical about moving far out, but again, the community is really friendly. Everyone's really close.
Though qualified as doctors, the team will be under supervision for the next 12 months. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The Flinders Ranges Council has appointed Greg Flint as mayor following a supplementary election process. He has replaced former Mayor Peter Slattery, who resigned from the position after serving the community for the past 15 years. Mayor Flint has previously held the role of Deputy Mayor and Acting Mayor and says he is looking forward to continuing his work within the community. Still to come tonight, the Eyre Peninsula oyster industry battling through a worker shortage, and new apprentices recognised for their success in Whyalla. Welcome back. Travelling from Broken Hill to Adelaide will be easier from Sunday, when COVID testing requirements are lifted. Currently, anyone travelling from regional New South Wales to South Australia must have multiple tests during their time in SA. Cross-border permits will still be required for everyone entering the state. Victoria has also eased its border with New South Wales, but current permit and border bubble arrangements remain in place. South Australia's oyster industry is bracing for labour shortages, with ongoing border restrictions wreaking havoc on farms. The impact already taking its toll, with some oyster farmers cutting down on stock.
When farming oysters, many hands make light work.
It's extremely labour-intensive industry and we need labour to manage that stock.
But ongoing border restrictions are causing chaos for our farmers, with growers battling the loss of backpacker labour.
We've really sowed the seeds of our own destruction in a lot of ways, because we've started to rely on those international backpackers.
COVID is continuing to wreak havoc for primary industries, which has a 25,000 person gap in seasonal workers across the nation. It's leaving a bad taste in the mouths of oyster farmers, who say it's chewing away at their stock.
I don't think I will be able to recruit staff anytime soon. I've just made the decision to be very careful about what I put in the water.
But with the country's unemployment rate remaining high, our region's federal MP says it's a mystery why local unemployed aren't filling the jobs.
It is in consideration of the Cabinet, the fact that we've got this large number of jobs around Australia which can't seem to be filled at the moment, and there are people around that could fill them.
There isn't a whole lot of youth in regional or remote areas that can do this sort of work, regrettably.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill's Ag Fair has been cancelled again this year. Last year's event was postponed till May, but during a meeting on Wednesday night, the committee made the decision to not proceed in 2021. Organisers say uncertainty surrounding border closures and COVID-safe measures were to blame for the decision, and as a not-for-profit, any unforeseen or sudden cancellation would have a significant impact. Ag Fair attracts up to 10,000 people and 300 exhibitors to town. No exact date has been confirmed for the 2022 event. Young Whyalla apprentices employed at Liberty Steel and the new secondary college were honoured for their work today. South Australia's Innovation and Skills Minister visiting the Steel City to congratulate the students on their achievements.
Touring Whyalla's $100 million secondary college, soon to house more than 1,500 students. Minister David Pizzoni today meeting apprentices working on the site, chipping away at their future careers.
It's a big day for apprenticeships and traineeships in Whyalla today. Obviously here I'm meeting many of the 38 apprentices that have been employed through various subcontractors on this site.
Apprentice Ben Hazeldime says his 7.5 months working on site has been very educational. He's hoping it will lead him to a career in plumbing.
There's heaps got to do. Watching the guys do suspended drainage is pretty cool. hopefully get to do that one day.
Ben also proud to be working on infrastructure within his hometown.
It's been good to see it from the start as well, work the whole way through.
The minister also attending an award ceremony at Wyalla's Middleback Theatre, congratulating 21 apprentices who are now working in their new careers at Liberty Steel. They're part of more than 2,500 apprentices and trainees who've started their career across regional South Australia since March.
We've gone from a state that saw enormous declines in those opportunities to now leading the nation in growth of commencements of apprenticeships and traineeships, and that's happening right here in South Australia.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
York Mid-North Police stopped over 600 motorists during Australia Day weekend operations. 584 alcohol tests were conducted, with one drink driver providing a blood alcohol reading of 0.054. Police also issued 8 defects, 3 traffic infringement notices and 4 cannabis expiation notices. Stay with us. Quorn residents learn the value of native grass, and Port Pirie Art Gallery unveils its latest exhibition. Police are calling on the community to help locate a wool press stolen from a Willaby shed. Between Monday the 11th of January and Sunday the 24th, thieves entered a shearing shed and stole a Macbro powder press valued at more than $17,000. It weighs 600 kilograms and is difficult to move. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Flinders Ranges residents have learnt more about native grass and seed cleaning at a local workshop. In collaboration with Quorn's Community Landcare Group, attendees were given an insight into the benefits of local species.
From identifying native grasses to making your own herbarium, about 35 volunteers attended a workshop in Quorn, eager to learn more about the landscape around them.
It's helping people learn a little bit about native grasses in the area, and this is looking at agricultural uses for native grasses and also cultural uses and biodiversity as well.
Learning about the differences between different species and what species are native and which ones are weedy grasses. Great opportunity to have workshops like this for people to get together, to share ideas and to ask questions.
The workshop also educating locals about bush food. It's a timely reminder with the construction of the Quorn Bush Tucker Trail expected to get underway in the coming weeks.
Part of that track is going to be maintained and generated by a volunteer group, so we're installing bush food gardens, and another part of the garden we're going to be putting in a grass seed bank.
Residents are being encouraged to get in touch with the SA Arid Lands Landscape Board or their local land care group for more information.
We'd love to hear from people if they've got any ideas of what they would like to learn more about. But yeah, next workshop that's coming up is a propagation workshop where we'll start to propagate some of those native grasses that will get planted out in the new seed orchard.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Hitting the pool on a hot day will be even more exciting this weekend, with the first Summer Days Festival being held at the Broken Hill Aquatic Centre on Saturday. The council-supported event is designed especially for 14 to 25-year-olds, with a water slide, movie screening and live band.
There's a few things, but we're adding a little more to it and making sure that the youth of Broken Hill are definitely not forgotten and definitely included in the community activities as well.
Entry is free with food available for purchase. Gates open from 5 p.m. Port Pirie's art community is keeping busy, with the Use exhibition finishing this weekend, ahead of the launch of Sarah Waters next week. It's been a busy few months for the city, with an influx of tourists stopping by.
It's been like watching paint dry, but after a long wait, the doors are opening again. Port Pirie's gallery staff excited to welcome guests this weekend for the first time since March.
So we're really excited to be able to reopen to the public. So we'll be starting, our new hours will be 10 to 2, and we'll review those in a few months and see how our visitors are tracking.
The Tourism Centre staff ran off their feet over summer with travellers from across the state visiting the Use exhibition. Local artist Elaine Crombie will perform tomorrow morning, coinciding its final weekend on display.
So she's going to be performing a play, doing a reading of the play tomorrow that she's performing at the Fringe Festival this year.
Despite school returning, there's no shortage of after-hours kids' activities.
We've got local artist Kylie Cumulus who will be doing those every Thursday, so you can book online for those. There's either a Facebook event or an Eventbrite link.
Staff will be kept busy heading into February with a new exhibition, Sierra Waters, starting next Saturday.
The art of the domestic craft, embroidery and storytelling.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Our cricket experts will preview the weekend's local matches. And we'll have the weather details with Alex. Hello again. Time to preview the weekend's local cricket action, with a number of crucial matches taking place. Here's our experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to round 12 of Port Pirie Cricket. This round starts here at 10:30 with Props taking on Port Germain. Props have won their last 2 matches and a win here could see them sneak into the top 3 for the first time this season. I'm tipping Port Germain. Over at Port Oval, it's Southport taking on Wanderer from 12:30. Wanderer sit at the top of the table with Southport close behind in second. This should be the match of the round. I'm tipping Southport.
Yeah, g'day and welcome to this week's round of cricket tips for Port Augusta. Another round of Super League matches this week sees West Augusta take on Rapina. This should be a good match. I'm going to lean towards home ground favourites. I'm going to go towards West Augusta. The other match should be a classic match between Central Stirling and Central Whyalla. Both teams are top of their respective league. Again, it's because the match is going to be played in Quorn. I'm going to lean towards Central Stirling home ground advantage. So there are my 2 winners, West Augusta and Central Stirling.
Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Northern Super League. The first game in Whyalla sees Quorn take on North Whyalla. In a close one here, I'm going to pick Quorn. In the second game, we see South Augusta travel over to take on West Whyalla. I think South Augusta are going to be a bit strong in this one.
Welcome to this week's Port Lincoln Cricket Tips. Firstly, congratulations to Charlton, who are this year's T20 premiers, defeating Tasmans in a low-scoring game here at Centenary. On to this week's matches, and we see Waybacks and Tasmans out at Ravendale. Tasmans should be too strong in this match and get the job done over Waybacks. In the next game, Charlton and Southern Air. Charlton top of the ladder, haven't lost a game this year and should be too strong and get the job done. And in the final game, Todd River versus Lincoln South. Going to pick Todd River to win this one. Thanks for listening to Port Lincoln Cricket Tips.
40 over cricket returns to Broken Hill now into the run up to the finals. Central take on South out at the Alma Oval. Central fell in by 3 runs last week, so we're hoping for a very close contest there. I'd have to select Central on previous form. West take on North here at the Jubilee Oval. I have a suspicion that the Northies are coming good at the right end of the season. I think they may record a narrow win.
And with the all-important weekend weather forecast, here's Alex Sakes.
Thanks, John. Mainly fine conditions across our region today. From 3 p.m, Port Augusta reached 30. It was partly cloudy and reached 26 in Woodner, and it was 22 degrees in Coffin Bay. Partly cloudy and 26 in Whyalla, 23 in Port Lincoln, a shower or 2 in Broken Hill, 31 degrees. Mostly sunny in Port Pirie, 28, 25 in Kadina and Cleve. Clare a top of 27, mostly sunny, and 32 in Cooper Pedy. Taking a look at today's skies now. Bright cloud over the far northeast of SA with a trough generating showers and storms. Low cloud with onshore winds is delivering a few light showers to exposed parts of the coast. Skies are clearing elsewhere under a building ridge of high pressure. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. South to southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas around 1 metre, and south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre. Mainly fine conditions across the region tomorrow. Port Lincoln 24, a degree cooler in Cleve 23, and cloud clearing in Woodner set to reach a high of 29. Whyalla is set to reach 26, a top of 28 in Port Augusta and Kadina. Cloud clearing in both Port Pirie and Clare, 29 and 26 degrees there, and sunny in Broken Hill, set to reach 31. Taking a look further through the week now, warming up slightly on Sunday. Cooper Pedy with the region's top of 35, sunny in Port Augusta and Port Pirie, cloudy and 31 in Woodner and Broken Hill, 29 in Adelaide. Similar conditions on Monday, cloud across most of the region, 32 in Cooper Pedy, 28 in Whyalla and Adelaide, 27 in Kadina, 24 in Port Lincoln, and mainly fine again on Tuesday, sunny in Cooper Pedy and Broken Broken Hill, cloudy and 24 in Port Augusta and Port Pirie, 21 in Port Lincoln and Adelaide. So John, we are certainly in for a nice weekend weather-wise, and that's all from me for tonight. It's a pleasure as always. Back to you.
Sounds good. Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and we will be back on Monday at 7 p.m. Until then, have a great weekend. Good night.